Edward loved boxing. He watched every match. He knew every champion. Edward had a dream. He wanted to be a boxer, a great boxer. Edward was small for his age, but he was quick. He was tough. He knew he could do it. He just needed a chance. One day, Edward saw a sign. It was for DeGallio's boxing gym. This was his chance. He had to go. He walked into the gym. It was old and smelled of sweat. But Edward was excited. This is where he would start. This is where he would become a boxer. The gym was loud, punches echoed, men yelled. Edward felt small, he felt scared. He saw punching bags, he saw a boxing ring, he saw strong men. Could he be like them? A man walked up to Edward. He was huge, he had a thick moustache, he looked mean. Edward was terrified. His voice was surprisingly gentle. S2, you knew?
I'm DeGallio. You here to train?
Edward looked up at DeGallio. He took a deep breath.
I want to be a boxer, a great boxer.
Good. Let's get started. Narrator. Edward nodded. He had heart. He had more heart than anyone. He was ready to work. S2, we'll see. Everyone starts somewhere. You got heart? Narrator. DeGallio smiled.
Training was hard. Edward ran. He jumped rope. He hit the punching bag. His hands hurt. His legs ached. DeGallio pushed him. He made Edward work harder than he thought he could, but Edward didn't complain. He wanted this. DeGallio taught him how to punch, how to move, how to defend. Edward learned fast. He was a natural. Section 5. The first spar. One day, DeGallio said it was time to spar. Edward would box against another student. Edward was nervous. His opponent was bigger. He was stronger. Edward was scared, but he remembered DeGallio's words.
Use your head, not your fist.
The bell rang. The spar began. Edward danced. He dodged. He used his speed. He surprised his opponent. Section 6. Learning from mistakes. Edward lost the spar. He made mistakes. He let his fear control him, but he learned. He learned a lot. DeGallio wasn't angry. He was proud. Edward kept training. He worked on his mistakes. He got better. He got stronger. He got smarter. S2, you did good. Now you know what to work on. Section 7. Confidence grows. Edward started winning spars. He beat bigger opponents. He beat stronger opponents. He was becoming a real boxer. DeGallio entered Edward in a tournament. It was a big tournament. The best young boxers would be there. Edward was ready. He trained hard. He practiced every day. He knew he could win. He just had to believe in himself. Section 8. The tournament. The tournament day arrived. Edward was nervous, but he was excited. This was his chance to prove himself. He won his first fight. He won his second fight. He kept winning. He was in the final. His opponent was Bretner. Bretner was undefeated. He was the favorite. He was big, mean, and cocky. Section 9. Facing Bretner. Bretner was intimidating. He trash-talked. He tried to get in Edward's head, but Edward stayed calm. He remembered DeGallio's words. The bell rang. The fight began. Bretner came out swinging. He was strong, but Edward was faster. Edward dodged. He weaved. He countered. He used his speed and his brains. He was outsmarting Bretner. S2, humility wins. Section 10. Victory! The crowd went wild. They chanted Edward's name. Edward had done it. He was the champion. He had achieved his dream. Edward raised his arms in victory. He was proud, but he stayed humble. He knew he couldn't have done it without DeGallio. Edward learned that boxing was more than just fighting. It was about courage. It was about discipline. It was about believing in yourself. And Edward believed.